All right, we are live. At least that's what it says on the clock on the wall. And it's good to have you guys here. Thank you for joining us for Old Gray Bricks. We are on a different night because I was on vacation and it's too bad for y'all. So anyway, we are here. It's Friday night, and we're going to do our job to try to get done in an hour. I know there's another couple of shows like Hope Castle's Friday Night Chats. We don't want to steal tens of viewers from them for from his show for ours, but just go around the room. We got Mark here, we got Dana here, we got Greg, also known as Gil. Captain Canuck is a great way to do that. I can change that to anything I want. I have that kind of power with the program here. Adrian and Matthew are here, and we've got some others that are going to be popping in. I know Julian said he is going to pop in a little later. And our chat room looks like Brett Builds is here. Winter Bricker is here. And Cordy Bob 757, a Mega Constructs fan. Well, good luck to you, sir. we will try to be kind and show you the door. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. All right. So as we usually do, we'll go around the room. Just tell us what you're doing, what you got going on, and what you've been building or what you've been doing nerd-wise and everything. We will start actually with Captain Canuck because, Brom is in the chat over on the side. Welcome, Brom. Smartest man alive. You can hear his brain humming through the internet right now. We'll start with Captain Canuck. What is going up in the Great White North, eh?
Well, it's minus 27 today, so, it's a pretty warm day. Not a whole lot, although unlike last week when I was in my exciting work office upstairs, I'm now back in an actual fun room. So like I was saying last week, there's actually a couple things where Dana was showing off some of the other classic space stuff.
Wait. Do you have a proper level of dank and funk going on in there? I mean, man sweat smell and things like that?
Well, there's a scent. It's more of a earthy musk, but it's something I tend to give off during the rut, but then it fades.
Mahogany.
Yeah, exactly.
Those Canadian women, they like it.
That's right. It helps penetrate the pelt. So yeah.
You can smell it through the furs too.
That's right. But yeah, what I was going to show, just to have something to show, is just one small thing. We were talking about Space Police 2, and I don't know if you guys remember, I'm lousy with the set names, but the classic I think it was called like Moonwalker or something like that. It's like the not AAT thing.
Yeah.
On the back of with the alternate builds was something which I built like a dozen times over. It was like a two-legged version of that, using like the cockpit, and then you only use the two legs, and then there's like a rotating gun on top. It's an amazing alternate build. I built this a while ago, but I thought since we were on it last week, so it's like just a little sort of in the same style. So
that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very Robotech Walker too. I like it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that's just that, and the only other thing sort of to show is the classic space to stay on thing. So yeah, so I think that's about a year ago now or so, and that was just sort of trying to sort of bridge the gap between like the modern and like the classic. So yeah.
That is a righteous spoiler.
That is totally.
Hey, wait. Pull the little Walker back up.
Sure.
And not all that implies. All right, anyway. You, sir, and I'll say this, that canopy right there is your canopy. You use that canopy better than anybody else I've ever seen, and you use it often, but you use it very well.
Thanks, man. No, I love it. Like the two canopies I love the most are this, and then the one that I just showed was on the yellow one. What's this length of that? 6 stud, I guess, 6x4. But those old ones, they're just really fun. And I guess one thing I wanted to bring up last week when I was doing my first intro on that is I guess sort of the one thing back in the day that I was known for, and I still carry it forward to this day because I'm too dumb to learn anything new, is playability is like number one. Like, it started out like that's how it was with Classic Space back in the day, and then even like Town and stuff like that. But man, if you can't pick the thing up, play with it, do something with it, then you're only using 50% of what the medium is allowing you to do, right?
Agreed.
So and I guess the second part of that is these days you don't get playability confused with play feature. Play feature is baked in, right? So it's assuming you're going to do a certain thing at a certain time to do a certain action. Playability means that it's a function that allows you to do a whole bunch of different things. Like a cargo bay is playability. You can load it up with troops, you can load it up with cargo, you can put a rover in there, do all that stuff. A play function is like a competition shooter, or like, Chima was famous for this, right? Everyone's favorite whipping horse. This one thing makes it look from an unrecognizable animal to an unrecognizable, vehicle, right? So that's dull because that's like directing your play. Playability means it does something, but to use Keith Goldman's term, you decide the action, right? So yeah, that's it.
Nope.
Okay.
We
I
lost
don't know
our
what
host.
happened to Chris, but that sounds great.
Who needs a host?
So,
Chris was disgusted with my answer, so he left.
does someone else want to take the podium, or should I talk about my spacey stuff? Oh, he's back.
I am back. All I have to do is sneeze on this USB, and it flakes out on me. I want to say that I wanted to play the Canadian national anthem as you made that speech, because for us, especially as old space guys, you spoke a lot of truth in how we build and what we like to build, and the play feature kind of thing. So that's super awesome and super right, even though you're Canadian. Anyway, no, you got it on the spot, man. No. But yeah, when that's one of the things that when we built, especially as old guys, we wanted you to build it to where we wanted to play with it as a kid, and having features that you can do stuff with, not a feature that did something. So, but I mean, I will give also Lego props for putting shooters in a little better than they used to in the day. It's not a Technic shooter stuck on the side. It's integrated well, all that kind of stuff. But building that way and building it so you can build, and also sets that are built to be rebuilt, right? So
Right.
I don't. Are you going for some smokes there, cigar and a pipe there, Sandlin? Put your glasses back.
He doesn't drink water often, but when he does,
This is an official part.
Oh,
nice.
very nice.
It even has. Oh, look at that!
Oh,
What is that? Velvet?
That's really nice.
Velour. I love velour.
The Lego handheld that I got from the store when I worked at the factory outlets at it was called Discover Mills at the time, now Sugarloaf Mills. I bought, and it's kind of lived in my Lego room ever since. And it's always good to have a towel around when you have an 8-year-old.
Ooh, well, every good thing is where his towel went.
That's right. By the way, welcome
single one just
from
has
our
a
club,
beard.
Mathley fan. That's Neil from our club. Meredith can't be there tonight because Brian is turning 40. So let's give Brian a little love. Happy birthday! I remember 40. It was a long time ago.
yeah, my youth. Yeah.
I remember going, man, 40, feel old. I'm like, nope, I'm about to be 50. So that's not even cool. Business is a motherland. All right, that's awesome. And also, Brick Bunny's in the chat. I don't know if I said hello to you and everything. So I think I hit everybody. I'll look here in just a second. Let's go to Mr. Adrian, Brick Frenzy. What is up in your Lego world today?
So last week I was showing you guys my GBC stuff, and this week I added a little bit of extra onto one of them. So it was kind of like this wave looking thing. So I put so there's a cruise ship on it now, but I can't do. I need 3 hands for this. So sorry about the noise.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's great.
That's awesome.
that's like my colon.
That's
So
just
I've got
like
a little
a
more work to do on. I got a little more work to do on that one for some branding because it's going to be an official Bricks at Sea Great Ball Contraption module. But I wanted to show something else, so I pulled this out of the vault. This is one of those. They were done a few years ago at Brick Fair. Like you got a little box cube thing like this, and you put a diorama inside of it. And this is something that my youngest son built. So I can get it back open. Here we go. It is.
Is it an arc
The arc
reactor?
It's Tony Stark's arc
Nice.
reactor.
I was gonna say.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That's really
Very
cool.
That he built and made the little stand for it and put it in the box and all that stuff. And it doesn't light up, but it still looks hella cool.
That's
And,
really cool. Yeah.
That's something that passing on the knowledge to the younger generation, you know. So that's my now 13-year-old. I don't remember how old he was when he built this. This was a couple years ago. So it's been
That's
around for
awesome.
a while, but it sits in its little box, hangs out. So nothing much else super exciting. I've got a secret plan for a secret project that uses a whole lot of these guys, rubber duckies.
Oh, jeez.
So I have a plan I've got a whole bunch of these rubber duckies and I'm going to do something really cool with them. That's my next project. So hopefully, not next week, but in a little while. So hopefully I'll be able to show off what's going on with that.
The rubber ducky made it onto our that which shall not be named list.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Matthew, are we just looking at your living room?
Well, I flipped my camera around because I have a bunch of stuff I want to show you rather than my face. So I just
So here's the living room.
You should put your minifig you standing over there. So,
Oh,
kitty. Speaking of ducks, let me just go ahead and say this. There is a web company that sells T-shirts. I'm not going to name it, TeePublic, and so they were going to send me a shirt just like Dana is wearing today, which has Georgia with a swoosh around it, and a April shirt that has, instead of the O, there was a swoosh around the zero. And what I opened today after I got back from vacation, super excited what I was going to wear on the show. Ended up, I opened and I got two of these. It's a shirt with a duck butt on it. It is from the Duck Butt Cafe in Honolulu, Hawaii. Now, how that got mixed up with my space shirts, I don't know, but
they look so much alike.
duck butt. So
Looks
if
like
they
it's
come
growing
back
out
with
of a
tagging
head
to
of
keep
garlic.
these, I'm just going to draw. It does look like garlic. It's
Yeah.
garlic butt right there. So thank you very much. I don't have a new shirt, but anyway. All right. Since we don't want to look at his living room anymore, Matt, you tell us what's going on in your Lego world, man.
All right. So it takes a minute to flip my camera around. So I'm a little OCD, and so the printed tiles have been thrown into a bin for a long time, and I thought, gee, wouldn't it be great to be able to actually find some cool printed tiles quickly? So yeah, they've all been sorted by category and pressed onto base plates. So, for example, here's all the little tiny ones. And Giddens, this is the one you're going to want. It's the control panels. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Screens. We got our police, Old West, friends, all kinds of fun stuff. But all right, so the other reason that I had the camera flipped around is not only do I want to show you my living room, okay, not really, but I've been talking about this cathedral for the last couple shows. Uh-oh. Looks like we have a- oh no!
This is a Japanese disaster movie all of a sudden.
Pacific Rim 3. The Kidney.
This is the 13,000 piece cathedral. She wants to be the star of the show. Okay, not right now. Okay, so
You know what? I would allow the language if all of a sudden the cat started clawing you and fighting you and you're like touching up the cat fighting. I would have just let that go, man.
So I'll go from the above shot. So there's the little seats, the
Pew pew pew.
pew pew pew. We got the. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know the right name, but I think it's the nave up there at the front.
Yeah, the nave and the asps are at the side, right? Isn't that it? How it goes? Something like that.
Something like that.
Narthex and
Oh, and
I
there
don't
are
know.
there are people buried.
Yeah. So I need a white torso, but I've got the head and the hair and the legs. I need to wipe a white torso so I can finish putting the body on there. And
Well, we
then-
know how they died.
Yeah.
They
Too much
they
bleach.
met up with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Those parts are not back from the examiner yet. So
But
Hey, Matthew, where does the Ark of the Covenant go?
I think it goes right up at the front, doesn't it?
Well, the Knights of the Templar shield should be underneath the floor.
Ooh, I like that. That would be a nice little.
You got to
mod.
build a basement now.
Yep, and fill it with rats.
We're gonna have to do it Mills plates so we can fit the treasure under the floor of the cathedral. But I don't know. It's about halfway done. So obviously this all has a roof that goes over it, and there's these wings that are going to come off that resemble Vatican City, how the wings come off the public church. And I've actually, strangely, in the instructions, you build the dome first. So here's the dome.
Oh,
And
cool.
these
Wow.
pieces are supposed to come up here and clip into the ring. And I cut all of the pieces 2 millimeters too short. So
Oh,
they don't quite connect on both sides. So I just got in today the replacement Bricklink order. So I will be redoing all 12 of these little things that are going to lay flat and give it a nice little dome shape to hide the gaps in the plates.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's a pretty cool design. I felt even less sophisticated as a builder when I learned that the young man who designed this was 20 years old, the Italian. So I was like, oh, great. He's young enough to be my son. And I bought his plans, and they're pretty good. There's a couple things that I would have changed, but it's pretty stable. Each one of these sections are built, and this was pretty tedious building the window sections. But once I got past that, it's really picked up speed. And now I have to build at the top of each one of these columns. I have to build a little capital piece, like right here. I have to build like 100 of these things to fill in every single one of these capitals, and then we'll start setting on the roof that the dome will eventually sit on. So I don't know, I'd say about 40% of the way there. And I'm about to go on vacation next week, so I won't get it done before then. But it's going to be huge. I have no idea how I'm going to transport it to a show because it's 7.5 base plates, but it's going to look cool.
Wow.
So I'm pretty excited about it.
wow.
If Matthew, say you were to like ballpark what like the cost of that would be in parts, any idea?
No, because
He doesn't
we
want to
have a
admit it on
local-
TV.
we have a local sorter business that we can sort with, and I was able to go over and go through the white bin, and because I would say 80% of all the parts are white,
Right.
and I had a lot of white parts already, but I was able to go through and swap out some of my pieces that I didn't want for white pieces that I needed. I honestly have no idea how much it would cost to actually buy all the pieces because I didn't buy them all.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you said it was 100. How many pieces? 10,000 ish.
13.
13. Wow.
13.
Wow.
It's
Welcome,
like-
Studio Bricktron to the studio. Also, Doc Sampson, welcome to the studio. I had a question actually for that. Did the designer actually build it before they put the instructions out, or was it one of those where it's all electronic and they're just guessing it's going to hold together, or did they actually build it?
So when I looked at the pictures, it was all electronic, all digital. And I saw somebody on the Facebook architecture forum was building it physically. So I messaged that person and I said, look, how does it actually hold together? Because all I've seen of it is digital images. Does it actually work? And does it fall over? I mean, it's a pretty big building. So I was worried about stability. And the other builder who was building it in real life said it actually works well. He's like, I didn't run into any problems where the instructions don't actually work. And from what I could read, I think the young guy did build it in reality after he had built it digitally. But the photographs or the pictures that are on Rebrickable where he sells the instructions, they're all digital. So there are no still photos of it.
That's also the best way to keep a cat out of your shot. So
It is.
All right. Cool deal, man. Cool deal. All right. Mark Sandlin, what you got going on, man?
Space.
Space.
My bricks and pieces order came in with my new space dudes. Let me get my lamp adjusted here. So
You need professional. You need professional lighting.
Professional lighting. There we go. Space dudes from Bricks and Pieces with the new torso. And I put a variety of different helmets and whatnot on them, just so you got your space crew there. So,
Sweet.
yeah, they're fun. I like them.
Spacey.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
don't hold in.
Were those new pieces from a set?
yes, the new Space Rover Creator set.
Which isn't available yet in the U.S.
But you
And
can
when it is available, it comes with one dude.
Yeah. You can Bricks and Pieces order the little astronaut dudes, which is great. So hop on Bricks and Pieces and get you some. And I've been working on a spaceship. Wait.
So neat.
Ooh.
I have been last week, all week long, I did all kinds of sorting and took stuff apart. And this week I've been working on this new spaceship. Classic spacey style. So it's got kind of a cool silhouette to it. And here's the whole engine section there. It's got a ramp that opens up.
Ooh,
Ramps for space.
nice.
Love that ramp.
Got a cargo bay in there.
Playability.
Playability. It does have landing gear. I had to order some new Technic shocks because the landing gear, they do work. So there's one of them, two in the rear like that.
Take note, Gideon.
Two in the rear.
Yes. And all that implies. But it uses, as you can see, right here, it uses a shock absorber. And it's supposed to use the newer, stronger spring shock absorber. And I only had the old ones with the weak spring. So these close a little too easily. Because when I set the weight on this thing, it pretty much just belly flops. Unfortunately, my Bricklink order did not come in yet for the landing gear shock absorbers. So still waiting on that, but this is coming along. I have to obviously fill in this whole area right here, and I'm going to put some stuff in the wings because the wings are sort of open there.
So, Mark, there was a question. How did you do the angle on there for the wings?
For the wings?
Yeah.
Just hinges. Look, right there. See that? Hinge. There's
Oh, okay.
here.
What about up on the wing section? Is it just in place, or do you have
There are Technic pegs that plug into. Here, let me spin it around. You can see there's a Technic. There's some Technic bars right there. See those guys right in there?
Okay.
There's some Technic bars right there, and then it's just 1x1 Technic brick with a pin stuck into those sideways. So there's hinges here at this of the wing, and then up inside of here, kind of right around that area, the wing plugs into those Technic beams that are in there.
Nice.
And that
When you were showing us the bottom, it looked like you had some R2D2 torsos right there. Are those so you can put Technic pins through them?
No, those are there to look like takeoff thrusters.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
They're just to look cool.
Okay.
Please.
Those are the vertical thrusters, so blast off.
Do you know what's one of the coolest things though on that is that the marrying up of the Star Wars like X-wing canopy, and then the old school wedge, and then the old school that's just so sweet. Like that's just amazing. Yeah, because you know when it comes to space, it's everything starts with a canopy and you work back right from it. So
Amen.
That's right.
Exactly what I did. But there's
yeah,
a little
that's so cool.
guy. Got the little captain guy in there.
And good
Yeah,
snap
that's
work
amazing.
for those side panels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this has been really fun. I'm really, really happy with how the greebles on top, that all came together really nicely. I'm really happy about that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
And the bumblebee stripes, you had to put the bumblebee stripes in it because it wouldn't be space without. Yep.
Got to have the classic bumblebee stripes on there. So it's coming along. I hope that will be finished maybe sometime next week.
Sweet. All right. Dana, we'll get you to just have a second to see our set of the week. I'll show off something I've been building. I finished I worked a little more. We had talked about pods last week. So I made a little, I just copied this from a guy who did this. All right. So, but I made a Ice Planet little pod dealy bob here. And I got some parts in today to make this part a little better. So, cool little worker. And the little arms will fold up into running position and everything. So these open on the side for the access and everything. So,
and he has the shoes of a magical elf.
That's right, he does. I copied yours. I saw a picture. Anyway, so then I got the A-wing canopies, and I wanted to build with it today. And I'm like, well, all I'm gonna do is build a swooshy spaceship. So I built an ugly lander. So ugly on purpose.
I like it.
It looks really cool.
It's not ugly.
No. I mean, ugly, functional, ugly. I guess. Anyway, so but. Cool landy thing. I love having two astronauts stacked on that. That's just always something. But it does open up like this. Hatch pops up in there. And so I'm going to build a little scene. I think I'm going to build a scene where it's landed on a very colorful planet. And you have this little drab gray ship. And then I may do a landing scene with ladders to get the guys out and all that kind of stuff. So that was a little flurry of inspiration today to build. So that's what's up. We didn't build much while we were on vacation. We did get some clearance, and we'll talk about that a little later. We'll
I was wondering if the pilot guy on top has to put on like moon shoes to get down. You remember the springy moon shoes that we had back in the day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Down.
Moon boots.
Moon boots. Yeah. No. I'll have him. A ladder when he lands and everything. Yes, we do. The D-wing drop ladder. We showed that off one night. What was that? Was it the D-wing with the ship with the ladder? The guy slid down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who had that on the show? Did you have it on the show, or somebody had it on the show?
I think Ryan did, maybe.
Yeah, I think he did. Man, that was the days. There was a Palmer sighting, by the way. I had another mutual friend who watches the show, and he says he's in communication with Palmer. So Palmer's alive. Palmer's married and living his best life somewhere in like Tulsa or something like that. Anyway, so but I would love it if he would get back on. All right, let's go to Dana. Tell us what's up in your world and share with us the Old Gray set of the week.
Yep. So first and foremost, today was a Lego mail day. It was a light Lego mail day. So we got the new issue of Blocks magazine in. A-Wing complete, the Rebel fleet. So I haven't had a chance to flip through it other than just briefly. So I'm excited. This will be some throne material later this weekend. My big Bricklink order for the day.
Oh yeah, they are so hard to find. Oh my gosh, yeah,
So
they're really hard.
As some of you do or do not know, I am a parter, a completionist, working on sets. So I somehow omitted Space Police 1 and Space Police 2 during my initial foray in, but I'm going back and fixing that because I had so many people tell me what happened to Space Police. I'm like, all right, fine. But for like about 3 different sets to complete Space Police 1, I need 12 of these bad boys. So this is 3. So I have 3 more orders coming in. I'm gonna probably get over the weekend to hopefully start to be able to complete off some of the Space Police 1 sets that I need to finish. Chris is hopefully going to help me finish off the last Space Police 2 set when we do a little trade, which is exciting. The only building really I did this week is I had a chance to work on the stability of my cargo pods, because originally when I would flex them, they would kind of pop a little bit. So I did a little bit, and let me see if I can open one of these quickly or not. If not, I'll move on. Yeah. So I went ahead and added in some more stability struts on the sides so that it would hold on to it more firmly. And it seems to be working pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with it. So now I think I can start moving on to the cargo section and the thruster section greeblies. So it'll probably be in the next couple weeks. After that, I think that brings us to for the next segment. So Chris, if you'll share my other screen.
All right, let me get there.
Dun, 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 dun. And Old Gray Brick set of the week is the Space Command Center.
Oh, yeah.
I had that one.
So I want to pause before I move on to talk about the set.
Which side garage?
You need to the side garage. You need to notice that this particular version of the set has the brick built craters. So the American version that came out in 1978, which was the U.S. version first, had the brick-built craters versus the crater plate. So if the crater plate version is actually the UK version versus the US version. So just if you're out there and you're looking for that, it just depends on how you want to go. So a whole whopping 198 pieces, or 89 pieces, excuse me, came with 4 minifigures, 2 red and 2 white spacemen. Used price is going to run you about $130 US. And if you are lucky enough to find one available for the box, it's going to run you a little more than that. Chris, would you call that crazy Star Wars money or just crazy Lego money in general?
It'd be crazy Lego money in general. And if I had it, I'd spend it. Anyway.
Exactly. So moving on to why is it cool? Well, first and foremost, it's got to be that LL2079 printed 1x6x5 tile with the floating spaceman. Love that piece. Love it, love it, love it. You get 4 spacemen in this set. And, for an early set, for it to have 4 spacemen, that was rare. You were lucky if you got 2 in an early set. So this one having 4 was a pretty big deal. Inverted slope computer screens.
Yeah, it is.
Right? I mean, that was what? If you had those, you had bragging rights as a kid. That's
right.
Those are still gold. They're still gold. You can't have that. And then you got your 32x32 light gray base plate. Oh, we got a Hinkle sighting.
Hinkle sighting. Hinkle.
Throw up in the little screen if you got them. Woo! So you gotta love that the set came with a 32x32 light gray base plate, because those were just rare in general.
Yep.
And I don't think you saw many. I don't think there's any space sets after this one that had the 32x30 gray base plate. So you gotta love it. And the last thing is that 8x8 and the 4x4 radar dish. A young Goober Giddens was just all over those.
Oh, yeah.
All over those.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta love it. So the set of the week, the 493 Space Commander Center, and then Chris, I'll go ahead and switch to my other screen for a quick view of my version of the set. There she is. You can see I've got the brick-built bricks on there with the base plate. And then, I also kind of love, and it was kind of a pain to find when I was parting out the set, is these little translucent slope bricks to use as seats, so you could take off your air tanks.
Take off hoses
on your set. Which there's probably a handful of sets where you got to take off the air tanks to throw them on there. And then, of course, you got your nice big radar dish. And then these bad boys. You want to talk about pricey pieces?
Oh yeah,
These. Oof.
especially to get with no teeth marks.
Yeah, no teeth marks. And,
Yeah,
you're going to wind up with bent antennas. I mean, these are actually in fairly good shape. I'm sure if I was to heat them up a little bit, I could probably straighten them, but I'm not that brave to try and mess with those. And then you got to love, let's see if I can get on the picture a little bit more on the inside. Those printed pieces in there. I'm sliding. Inverted slopes. That big brick. Just so much classic goodness on this set. So much classic goodness.
That white astronaut must be farsighted. He's sitting that close to the TV. So
yeah, it's a small cramped in there. You got to do with what you can do on that. So, and then also just because Mark had asked me when we first got into the green room, yes, I am. I'm working on a project, and so I have lots of classic space here on the table today. Hopefully, I'll be able to share that and maybe do something a little more exciting for that in the future. But that's all I got for this week. So
you're just doing it to make us jelly, man. Just go ahead and say it. You're
a little bit.
There's a really the trans clear sloped pieces for those chairs.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting fact about that is that trans clear slope actually holds it contains the air for the spaceman to breathe. That's why those are really
true.
And again, that comes into the imagination of the child playing the set. So would that be play feature or play function?
No, that's actual science. They contain it.
Science.
Actually, it was just a bubble of air that was just
a bubble of air siphon off of. Yeah. Well, that was, actually, that's kind of funny that you mentioned that because just in general, people always question on the front of most of the vehicles that came with the old gray air tanks in the front. So is that a spare air tank or is it the fuel to function this little rover? What do you think?
When I was a kid, I always thought it was like a backup. Like if the guys like he's trying to fix the spacecrapper, he loses track of time, he runs out of air, he can't make it back, he's got to haul it off, and he realizes the jerk he works with has filled it with helium, and now he's sounding like Minnie Mouse for the rest of the playtime. But
hey guys,
when I was a kid, that sort of like extrapolation happened often. Usually, when the shirts were a little too tight.
Yeah. And if he came back to the space base with the gray tanks on, they'd all laugh at him because it was like being in kindergarten and having to put on your pee-pee clothes to wet yourself. Go
on, sure.
Person coming back with a blue space tank.
No, I'm not showing that. I'm not showing that. And by the way, my pee-pee pants were hee-haw overalls, and I had to wear them a couple times, and everybody knew it. So it was already embarrassing to be in hee-haw overalls, but that meant I had wet myself. Anyway. Oh yeah. All right. Unfortunately,
welcome to TMI chat.
Yeah,
that's right.
Confessional.
All right. So talking about I can't segue from that. Anyway, so we all know that there have been a couple of set announcements and one set cancellation this week, which we find interesting. And I think I want to talk about the set cancellation first, just because no one on the internet's talking about that. So none. Let's see if I can share this screen. Let's go to the official Lego site for. Oh, looks like something's gone wrong. It is gone. That's if they had fail horns, it should be right there as you log into the site. So but here's the deal. Lego canceled the Osprey. There was complaints from German Peace Society, had a petition out. Lego listened to it. I don't know if they saw their market was going to be affected. They're going to be caught in the act or whatever, or maybe it was because it was, if you can see right there, it had Bell and Boeing's logo on it. And the accusation was that Lego was making war toys. And but we can see this is from Brothers Brick, who do a good job, that military aircraft haven't always been a problem for Lego to make and all that kind of stuff.
I don't mean to interrupt, but if you think you're sharing an image other than the look something's wrong, you're not.
Oh, am I not? All right, let me share another tab here. I thought it would go on over. Let me share another tab. My bad. Thank you for saying I'm stupid. That's really good. Thank you.
Well, it was a polite way of saying it, but yes.
yes, it is. Let me share another Chrome tab here.
Excuse us while we have technical difficulties.
There you go. All right, there it is.
The next shot is Chris in his overalls.
Overalls, laughing, whatever animal that was on there. All right. So here's the set. It has Bell, it has Boeing on there. So I can understand why some people got wiggly. Lego's purpose in it was to make a rescue version, which I don't know if exists in reality or not. The potential is there, I guess. But Lego has made Osprey kind of things before, and they have made war vehicles plenty of times before. So what do you guys think? What do you guys know? What's your opinion on the issue here?
So first and foremost,
go ahead.
No, yeah. First and foremost, I'm irritated because this is probably the first Technic set that I've ever seen that I was like, "Ooh, I really want that." That's cool. I mean, to me, that's you're basically giving me Ghost in the Shell Shiro Masamune vehicle to customize and modify in Technic. I want it, and I'm horribly bummed by the whole concept.
So
Okay.
I just want to say that as someone who doesn't like Technic, they should just cancel all the Technic sets. So my grandmother, my mother's side is a pacifist by faith. So my grandma's a Mennonite. None of my aunts and uncles served in World War II, so that side of my family completely approves of Lego's decision. My warlike father's side does not approve of this. So we're a family. We are family riven by this controversial decision here at the house.
Thanksgiving's ruined, right?
Right.
But you have Mennonites in your family.
Holidays.
You're eating good if you got Mennonite cooks in your family, right? I mean, they can seriously do some serious cooking. All right, that's awesome. All right, no, that's I understand that. And traditionally, Lego didn't make green bricks and green whatever stuff for the longest time because of the original intent not to make war toys. So has Lego walked that back and then kind of got busted on it, or what? Let's keep the discussion going.
I don't know if you guys have watched the Jang Bricks thing on it, right? He did an hour and a half.
Yeah, he was mad about it, right?
Yeah, he is, but it's kind of strange because, he's typically a very chill guy, right? He doesn't really get too bent out of shape about stuff. But after sort of wading through about 40 minutes of his, laconic draw on about it, his basic idea, which I can see his point, is that I guess it's a really fine line because this is a licensed design on the box by Boeing of a modern military-only aircraft to date, right? So in the real world, it's only the military that's using it. Originally, it was designed to actually have a civilian application, but that was dropped. So right now, it's just the military, primarily the Marines, I think, who are using it. But his whole idea about it is that Lego thought they were safe because their commitment was only to do something where it's licensed as a war machine, right? As a current modern war machine used to be their line. But by doing the search and rescue, they thought, okay, like you said, they removed it out of the actual fighting part of it. But what they did and why he was mad is that not so much as Ansel, but the fact that they betrayed their own basic tenet that they can't have something licensed and modern. That's why they could do the Indiana Jones stuff. That's why they sort of bent the rules with the other kind of things, because they weren't current modern, designs. So that was his idea. But I don't know, like for me personally, like again, it's cool. It's a cool design. It's neat. But I think where it really falls down, and I think this was Jangbrick's point, is that, man, why was this caught at 5 minutes to midnight? Someone should have been ringing the bell at 3 in the afternoon that this ain't gonna fly. So that's the first part. And then the second part is that, and this is kind of just my thought, is that Lego they're always under fire for something, right? Like, there was the skin tone thing back in the day. There's whenever they do get a brick that, or do get a minifig gun that looks too much like a real gun, there's always going to be something there. But to me, it sort of feels like the most recent thing, and I know we don't bring politics into this whole thing. However, the whole police thing that's going on now, no matter which side of the opinion you're on, it's an issue that's out there now, and they were feeling some pressure to scale back their police-oriented stuff. So there were some people who were, saying like, you shouldn't be promoting this, and how you promote it as police basically out being aggressive towards people. So their thought was, yeah, but it's you're still keeping it within the play venue. The criminals aren't actually that bad, but they are doing crimes, this kind of thing. So to me, it kind of felt like we got to do something to show that we're socially responsible, and this is a safe thing to do. It's one set, it's easy to define. We're done, right? So that's a little bit of my theory. Don't know if it's true, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh, welcome, Bricksmith. How you doing today, man?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry I'm late. I was recording.
That's all good. That's all good. All
Good
right.
to see you,
So,
everybody.
yeah, I got you, Gil. What else do you guys think about this? We're talking about Bricksmith. We're talking about the Osprey. Obviously, no one on the internet in Legoverse is talking about it, so we thought we'd pick it up.
I figured, okay, yeah, I know. My opinion is, if he's going to do it, let's do it anyway.
Yeah.
If it's already been produced, let's keep going. I don't know. I didn't hear anybody else's opinion. Sorry, but yeah,
Don't worry.
if it's already in the box and in the hands of the folks, you know who I'm talking about. Then let everybody else have it instead of making it a specialty, crazy one-off.
And
Yeah, I know one guy in New Zealand had it, reviewed it, and has already built it and all that kind of stuff. Now he has a couple $1,000s of Lego sitting there on his shelf.
Yeah.
And he probably has an NDA that he can't sell.
both New Zealand and Australia got them, and I think as it was getting to the point of being recalled, they just said, "Hey, let's go ahead and sell these now." So now they've leaked out into the environment. What will be one of the more sought after sets in general.
I was talking to another AFOL that's not in this room. It was actually a girl. Girls brick too. And she said she's just going to get the instructions, find them somewhere, and then bricklink the parts.
And that's what probably will happen for most people.
Yeah.
Well, remember back
But
when
what's
they had
sad is that, because they put it out there and it has reached the world and it's out there and the instructions can be found eventually or scanned and brought up there, people are going to build it. And Lego's in the position now, they've sealed their deal. They've said, we're canceling it. If they try to come back and say, oops, well, we changed our mind, which they're not going to do, they'll look silly if they did. And the community already thinks they look silly for having done it. So the damage is done, and that's it. And we move on. And, as Kevin has pointed out in the past, Lego always breaks their own rules. They flip-flop back and forth. It's interesting now that they own Bricklink, they can block sellers from selling it.
Wow.
I was about to bring that up, and Kevin said it because we were talking about that in his doodle stream this morning. Yeah, Bricklink has now. Brick Owl can probably sell it, so that's where
eBay is.
I did not say that officially. If Lego ever wants to sponsor me or anything or give me some free Lego, I didn't say to go to Brick Owl and buy one if you want one, but that's probably where they are. So,
or or eBay. You know, I mean, there's nobody policing eBay in that aspect. So,
Right.
So remember back when they had the Jabba's, the top part of Jabba that they pulled because people said it looked too much like a minaret. I mean, personally, I didn't see it that way, but
Oh yeah, that was weird.
and
Yeah.
I have one of those sets, and from what I looked, I don't know, like 2 years ago, and I thought, has that set become super expensive on the secondary market because they pulled it? And I didn't think that the price had really shot up. Now, obviously, more of those sets had reached the market before they pulled it off. So in this case, it's a handful of sets versus whatever, thousands of sets.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it'll be
Oh, Lego got him. They got him. They smoked him.
Lego's looking.
he's gone.
I didn't say anything. I said
It's this guy's scream.
You heard the knock. You heard the knock, man. Before they came through the window. Never see Matthew
Like
again.
sponsored Ospreys came in and landed it and got him out.
On that note, good night now.
His corpse. The cat is halfway through his corpse by now.
Oh, God.
But I just did a quick search. You can find the instructions online already.
There
It's
you
already
go.
been scanned in and
Yeah.
posted. It's I did a quick Lego V22 instructions. It's literally the first link on Google.
Okay, cool.
It's right there. It's ready. They can download them and you go.
All
I
right.
didn't click on the link.
Do you know what's going to be a ridiculous, probably eBay price is if anyone who got the set has the sticker sheet. If it's got the Boeing Bell thing on it, yeah, that's going to be a fortune.
Welcome, Janie Red Brick. Good to see you. Good to have you here.
Hey, Janie.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I wonder if there's. I haven't looked at the parts list. I mean, it was not on my radar. It has already one big sin against it, like our dear departed friend said. That it's a Technic set, and I really don't care. I mean, I really am not jonesing for it. And even as a Technic set, I'm like, okay, it looks like an Osprey, but I mean, there's a certain level of I know, pretend there's glass there that I can't do with Technic sets and all that kind of stuff. So it was not on my radar. So it wasn't like I was going to pick it up, and it didn't impress me that much. But Lego pulled this to stop the PR damage. But do you think the Lego fan PR damage is going to be worse?
Oh, we already know they don't
Probably.
care. They don't care. AFOLs, they don't care what we think in that aspect. They're more concerned, as Kevin has preached more and more and more. They are only concerned about new fans and bringing in more people. We're still going to buy the sets. I mean, if they pull this set, now granted, I'm not a Technic buyer either, but I'm sure that Technic fans are not going to stop buying Technic sets. I'm not going to stop buying XYZ sets.
It comes down to, again, what Kevin said, and he has taught me well, is that Lego is just what?
Padawan.
Lego is just a corporation. The reason we keep coming back to it is the high quality of the product.
Yep.
Got to have that ABS because it's the best thing on the market.
In my corporate life, and I've been doing IT for 25 years, and I hate computers, and I didn't want to be in IT, but I've always been that guy that at the end of the day, just short of me dragging a dead body through the office, they weren't going to fire me because I was the guy to go to for X, Y, and Z. And Lego, short of them dragging a dead body through the marketplace, we're going to still keep buying bricks.
All right. Welcome, Matthew, back to the stream. Is the shot collar in place now?
Have you been penalized by the Lego Corporation? I've regained myself with Kevin.
All right. Let me just go ahead and say that Kevin Hinkle today said that he likes Ghostbusters 2 better than the original Ghostbusters. So if you need to, I'm sorry to bring that up, Kevin, but people need to know that, okay, about you. I mean, nobody's perfect, obviously, but you knocked down a couple for most of us. So he said that today.
So maybe he got hit with that Jello. Yeah.
All right, Matthew, are you with us?
He's in, he's out.
Is that the shot? The Lego shot collar you got on?
The orange Lego shot collar.
We don't care if it's Vigo. Vigo's an idiot. Anyways. All right. Anyway, so any other thoughts, Adrian? I hadn't heard. What do you think about the issue?
I think they had a policy that they broke. Their policy was no modern weaponry. That's why, like you guys were saying before, the military weapons from like Indiana Jones, they're not modern. Space, it's not modern. Star Wars, it's not modern. This was modern, and just because they repainted it to be non-military, there was a poor choice because it doesn't exist in a non-military format. So they're trying to whitewash away its militariness, and it didn't work. And I think that's it's kind of a cool set. I agree with that at least. But I am a Technic builder. I wouldn't have bought it, but I do like Technic occasionally. I tend towards construction equipment more so than airplanes. But it's like they have a rule as weird and as hard to police that it is. They have a rule, and this obviously broke that rule, and they were seeing the repercussions of that.
Can we also just touch on for just 1 second that now one of the most unofficially sought after sets that Lego has ever created is an effing helicopter? Good job.
Oh, me. All right. So let's move on to another subject. Let me share this screen here. Let me see if I can do that better than I did before. All right. What do you guys think about this thing? There it is. Is that moving? I don't know if it's moving.
Yeah, it was.
It is.
All right. There you go. The grand piano set that has 3,000 some odd pieces and costs $350. There it is right there. This is the new idea set. What do you guys think about this thing that's been now? Understand this is probably we kind of I feel like we've been carpet bombed with some high price sets of late. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's good? You don't want it? You think it's not good? And who wants it? Or what's your opinion on it? Simon Lou is in the chat. Also, how you doing, Simon? Canadians, you can smell them. We got 3 in the room right now.
That's right.
So that's awesome.
You can smell that earthy mix of like maple syrup and socialism.
Oh, Canada. Oh, sorry.
All right. So what do you guys think? Is this something? Does anybody in this thing think they want to get the grand piano by any chance?
No.
It's awesome.
Not really.
It's cool, but to me, I think this is the equivalency of the Saturn V to music fans. That you're going to have people who are music fans and who play the piano and be like, I don't buy Lego, but I need that set. And I'm going to go in the Lego store and they're going to offer me a VIP card. And I'm going to go, nope, I'm never going to be back. I only want this set. I think that's
on that note, the price seems very high for trying to capture that kind of one-off customer.
Yeah.
Because there's
bought a piano before.
But there's a big difference between like a $100 or $200 set and a $350 set.
Again, have you ever bought a piano before? If you have a baby grand piano, this $350 set is a drop in the bucket. It's a rounding error for them. They're going to buy it. They're still going to buy it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you may be right. That was just my thought. For your regular Lego fan, or for your regular, people who are buying the Friends set, which was the Central Perk. That was a briefly priced set for a theme that was great. And your regular Lego fan is going to look at this and go, $350 for that? I'm going to pass. But your niche
this is what
is going to happen.
And this is exactly what Kevin's saying here is that, they're looking to broaden where they sell stuff. Like when I see this, it kind of reminds me of those airplane sets they used to sell on the airplane, right?
Yeah.
So for this, it's like, this is what they sell in music shops and in places where you buy stuff for your piano playing kid that gets beat up all the time, like pads and stuff.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
I played the piano, so I know I have the bruises.
I can almost say that if FAO Schwartz was still as big as it were, this would have been an FAO Schwartz experience.
Yeah.
Because that would have been right to their market.
So, but the price point, though, I mean, I get it. I get piano buyers, players. You know, we had a used piano that I learned to play piano on. You know, that kind of stuff. That the white stuff on the white keys was chipping off, all that kind of stuff. So we weren't piano buyers. But how big is the market for people who are like, yes, I'll have a baby grand in my veranda? How many people are there that are going to buy these sets? That's just something I'm wondering.
Well, I think to answer that question appropriately, we needed to bring in to this group someone who isn't an old gray brick, someone who is a music-loving, technic-loving, give me something new kind of person, because we're the wrong demographic for that set all over the place.
And that person is no. It'd be cool if I could bring somebody like that in.
Yeah, no one's going to market for that piano.
I don't know. I think maybe for me, and I know you don't judge anybody for how they do their hobby. And in the room here, we have people who do their hobby different. Mock builders, you know, collectors and stuff like that. But man, a lot of the stuff that I see coming out in this, the mosaic things. I mean, these are shelf sitters, and you know, might as well just buy a mini grand or buy a used one for $350 or something like that. Then the Lego version almost. Although I'm a hypocrite, I got the Saturn V sitting right there. So, but it was $100. You know, it was not $350. But it's like, you know, if Lego is really seriously putting out, I saw someone call them juggernaut sets that are, you know, $250 and above kind of deals. And I think, you know, maybe it's because the Mega Millennium Falcon sold well at $800. Who's got one? Who's got one? Okay.
I only work in pink and dark pink.
And sometimes very dark.
Julian, you've got to build a Friends color or pink Bucket Nation Millennium Falcon, big old UCS style. Gauntlet is thrown. Chris, I do have a serious comment, and I think it was, I don't know what episode I am on Forever Sorting with Kevin and Julian talking about the Superstar Destroyer, the Millennium Falcon, that it's blame the Falcon. You know, if you put out an $800 set and the week it comes out, it's sold out before it was even released to the public.
Did you guys? I've
set that mark.
I knew AFOL, been at it for 8 years. I have said several times on the internet from the moment that they came out with the 10-year anniversary assembly square, I said they are now going to jack the parts up and the price up, and they're never going to look back. The a-holes are being greedy.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. Why is gas price the way it is? Because they jacked it up and we pay for it. Why does the price of cereal, the price of steak? Because we pay for it. They're not going to turn it back and drop it down. I hate to be all history and science, but since Matthew dropped off, you know, the reason that we have income tax to pay, or that we have to do that, is because during Prohibition there was no tax for alcohol, so they had to introduce a new tax to pay us. When Prohibition ended, they didn't take away that tax; they left it there. You don't get to turn it away. So Lego's going to do the same thing, and big sets are going to keep coming. And and this is reality, until people literally stop buying big sets, they're going to keep making them.
And they're not going to stop buying them.
No, of course not, because we're idiots.
I was chatting with Adrian earlier today on Discord, and he did raise the point that the price per piece for the set is not unreasonable.
Right.
So
mosaics.
You know, when you're talking price per brick, it's okay, I guess.
If you keep it under 10 cents a piece for the set,
But now to that point on the mosaics, do we really want to pay 10 cents a piece for a stud?
Well, actually, it's less than 10 cents a piece actually on that set. But
Okay.
The mosaics are a lot cheaper. They're about half that.
yeah, they are. I mean,
Okay.
I think
So
I forget which website did it, but they did a breakdown of that. Could you part out that set on Bricklink and try to rebuild it, even though you have to technic build the back plates and everything like that? And even if you were lucky and you still had to change colors and it would not look quite right, you were still at like $110 minus shipping. That's not counting shipping if you wanted to Bricklink it. So no, those mosaic sets are a prime example. They're still good value for the brick.
Okay.
But when you build one, I just want to see the first person who builds theirs, and there's just this like heap of extra parts because you get a little bit to build the others, but there's going to be like 900 dots laying there, and people are going to be like, what am I doing with these?
You know what's funny though? Some of the colors in those sets have not been in other sets in a long time, and I can see some people just bricklinking those and parting parts out because it's colors that people weren't able to get before.
Yeah.
But that's what someone said. Now, I didn't really even take a good look at the set. If someone said, "Oh man, it's a Blacktron 2 parts pack," I mean, black, but is there something else in it, like something in white or neon? Like, why are they saying that? I haven't really.
Talking about the piano?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's black and it's got gold in it.
I know. But I mean, man, I've got like. I can like stand up to my roof on the black parts of that pack, like tons and tons of the things. So, yeah, I know. I mean, it's again, just like you're saying, it didn't seem that special.
Now, the rumor back in the day was that they ground up all the leftover Lego and then formed it into black Technic and stuff parts. So I got a feeling all those Ospreys are going to become pianos at Lego right now. So.
No, they're going to be buried with the ET games in the middle of the Nevada desert. That's where they're going.
That's right. Sandlin, what is your opinion on this thing, man?
I pretty much just interjected with what the other guys were saying, but I mean, I'm not going to buy one because I don't buy a lot of sets that are more than about $100 anyway. I have very few sets that I have purchased. In fact, you can see them right over there. Are the two sets that I have bought is the Slave One and the Millennium Falcon, and those are the only two sets I have that I actually bought for a display. Every other thing that I buy that's Lego goes into the collection, and I build with it. So I'm not a collector, so I'm probably not a good person to ask for that type of set.
Yeah, that's one of the things that
collect them.
This piano, the mosaics, these big sets, the Millennium Falcon that we mentioned before, Lego is going after collectors. Mm-hmm. They're not after mock builders like us. They're not after creators. They're after collectors. So I'm wondering if part of the very high price of the piano is intentional to make it seem more valuable, to make it seem like it's something that is worth putting on a shelf, with your other sculptures, with your other art pieces. I don't know. It's something I kind of thought of because it's actually a pretty large piece too. When you look at it, the pictures I don't think they really don't give it justice how big it is. I mean, you see it next to the brick separator, but it's probably like yay big. I mean, it's a good sized tabletop sculpture, and people would spend a hell of a lot of money for something like that, for like a really nice quality metal sculpture. I don't know. It's kind of another like direction to look at this kind of set.
Well, I think to touch on that, I think if you look at how they've been kind of pushing or marketing certain things, like when they released the Star Destroyer set, you saw the commercial. He's carrying it through the living room, and it goes onto the little table behind the sofa. And that's where it's going to sit. And it really is giving you that feeling of, as Chris says, they're destination pieces, something that builders don't care about. But if you're a fan of a theme or a product or whatever it is, and you want to put that on your shelf, because you can Google all you want or YouTube all you want, seeing people's collections, and they're displaying this and that and this and that. And this is what it's about. It's how to display it.
Or there's also the other option too, or other possible reasons that next year they're coming out with the Billy Joel mech. And man, like it's gonna go with it like nuts and gum. Like it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a marriage made in heaven, right there.
Sing us the song, you're the piano man.
See, now I want to buy one of these pianos and build a techno mecha to play it. Great big huge mech.
Now I'm waiting for the first
right.
person to build a Billy Joel sitting up that thing is going to win.
It's already being
In
done.
the internet.
It's already started.
Big mecha hands.
That's right.
Or like Don Music on Sesame Street.
And then he fights a Christy Brinkley mech at the end, and lawsuits start going. Oh, it'll be gorgeous, man.
Lawyers. Just lawyers everywhere.
But then Lego has to walk it back because they were military lawyers. So close. It's the Jag. We can't have the Jag. The Judge Advocate General, of course. You saw that Cruise movie with the guy and the.
You can't handle the truth. You
Exactly.
You can't handle this Lego set.
Hey, by the way, if any of you have gotten your Baby Yoda brick heads, has anybody got your brick heads? Look.
Oh.
And I also on that note, because I just purchased the instructions. Somebody did a taking basically the Lego Yoda set, the newer UCS one. I know Julian's wanting to get one because he missed out on the first one, and I was not going to buy one because I just didn't want to get it.
It's right there.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a shot. Hang on.
But somebody has released on Rebrickable to take that exact set and turn it into a Baby Yoda.
Oh.
For the child.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks freaking awesome.
It looks better than that Yoda does.
Yeah, like Chris, share my other screen for a second.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Give me some coffee, damn it.
So look at this little guy.
That does look great.
I mean,
It
that
looks
looks
a whole
good.
lot better.
and all you need is 4 pieces that don't come with the set, basically to do the eyes. And you wind up with a whole bunch of extra pieces from the Yoda set, but that looks dead spot.
That looks really good. Really good.
A full day, I'm buying a Yoda set just so I can build the Baby Yoda or the child. So
That's awesome.
that looks cool. So that'll be on my table soon.
By the way, the Baby Yoda set does come with one of these new two of these.
Oh,
The
nice.
new,
The part we all didn't realize we needed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which when I get a bunch of them in my collection, I'm like, what am I going to do with these now?
They're like $1.50 a piece on Bricks and Pieces. So yeah,
It's crazy. Though Lego knows.
they're not cheap.
And that actually begs a question to our discussion about how Lego is pushing all these big sets to reach new fans and everything. All of a sudden, they used to kind of limit Bricks and Pieces or Bricks and Pieces. Now it's just like, sure, Bricks and Pieces, come on.
You want a $5 piece? You want 20 of them? Go ahead.
So when does it all of a sudden finally they take Bricks and Pieces and Bricklink and just all smush it together? I don't know. And I appreciate Bricks and Pieces. Do you guys in Canada, do Bricks and Pieces?
Yeah, I mean it's they do their. It's been a long time. Like I think when they first launched, I ordered a few pieces from there, and the pieces, as everyone knows, originally were like insanely expensive, like across the board, and the availability was pretty terrible. But then I think at that point they were only being picked from the U.S. and then mailed up here or something. So the shipping was really expensive. But my understanding is now they're picking here just north of the city, which makes it sound like it's being done by like guys with no teeth and stuff like that. So I think that it's a lot cheaper now. But I don't know, maybe if Simon's still listening and maybe he could chime in. I imagine since every time you ask Simon for a part, like, hey man, do you want one of those, black taps? And he's, opens up this like Pulp Fiction briefcase with like 700 of them. So I'm assuming he probably uses the service. But yeah.
Cool. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know who Abby's Dabbles is, but her version of Baby Yoda came out a long time ago, and it actually is in some ways very superior. She actually put the point tips on the thing. So this is a little $20 little Brickheads Baby Yoda, and it's very good. So
I've got one of those too.
Little shout out.
It's staring at me over there.
Is it talking to you too? Do you need to consult a physician?
It and the Medusa that I showed off last week are having a little conversation. I think they're plotting my demise.
Come back next week if you've got a Medusa with little baby Yoda heads all over it. That would be quite disturbing. Quite disturbing. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, any final thoughts for the evening? We need to bail out and don't want to take from other streams that are usually on tonight. Any other thoughts? Yeah, what's up?
I want to do a shout out to a Lego friend who's near and dear to Dixie Leg members. His name is Stephen Smith. Yep. He's over in Alabama. He's also a 501st and a Rebel Legion Amano Mercs member. He was admitted into ICU 2 days ago for COVID-19. He had a really scary couple nights, and he's starting to do a little better. So, shout out to you, man. You're in our thoughts, and speed to come home.
Yeah, man. I hope you'll be listening. Sure. But Steve's a good guy, man. He's a really good guy. Does a lot to bless and kids and does charity work, and man, he's all over it. So
he also co-runs the Bantha Bricks Star Wars Lego fan Facebook group. And they do a big charity drive every year. And actually, for the last two years, I've gone as a stormtrooper to help pass out Lego kits to kids in cancer wards here in the Affleck Center. So, great guy. I hope in speedy recovery.
Yeah, I'm glad I had a note to mention that, and it slipped by. So I appreciate you saying that. So, anybody else got anything to close it out tonight with? All right. Just remember, if your space shirts get replaced by duck butt, don't give up. Just call customer service. So we're so glad you guys joined us tonight. Thank you guys for joining us, Matthew. We really hope the Ospreys didn't take you off and take you to the Lego jail and everything. So we wish you well as well. We had a lot of guests tonight who weren't able to be here. Brian, who is our resident young also, he actually has a social life, so he on Friday night had something to do that was fun, probably with his bride and maybe even friends. So this is how I hang out with my friends. So I'm glad you guys hung out tonight and didn't have anything better to do. But
he's home building the piano, man.
When we talk like this, we don't get to COVID, folks.
That's right. That's right.
Stay at home.
Take care of yourself. Wear a mask and everything. Hey guys, we'll see y'all. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Have a great night. Be creative. Do something awesome. Steven, we're praying for you, man.